You're watching Byline Wilmington on CBS 10 WILM. Here's your host, Don Ansell.
Welcome back. Jonathan Barfield, Vice Chair, New Hanover County Commissioner, our guest on this edition of Byline. We've been talking about, if you're just tuning in, we talked about the ABC controversy, talked about the budget, about $11 million shortfall. If you put this year and next spending levels for next year. So we've been talking about that, but there's an election coming up this coming November. 2 of the 5 seats are up for grabs.
Correct.
How much of an issue do you think raising taxes might be for folks that want to get on the commission? Do you think they might focus on that?
It's definitely going to be a topic that will be talked about, and I have talked to every candidate that's running for county commission except for one. And I've asked them all those questions in terms of where do you stand with the budget, what are your thoughts of our budget, and to see exactly if they know anything about the whole budgeting process.
What kind of response did you get? All the announced candidates but one you spoke to.
Several are on the very conservative end of we want to cut government even more, not fully understanding what government.
So it will be an issue with those candidates.
It will
and be. They'll raise that. One longtime commissioner, I think he's the longest-serving commissioner, Bobby Greer, is not seeking re-election. And the other seat that is up for grabs is Bill Castor's seat. He's in the running. He wants to be reelected. Is there an anti-incumbency feeling out there that could hurt Bill Castor?
I think you hear that every year. As you noticed in last year's election, you had 2 new commissioners elected, Jason Thompson and myself. And so you always hear, I think every year you hear that anti-incumbent sentiment with folks that aren't happy with government in its present
Pretty strong
form.
this year, though. I mean,
I would tell you that in light of all that we're dealing with on a financial level, if I were a citizen voting, I would be upset as well. I hear people talking about
you'd be upset about
where our county is financially. It's amazing how when I ran for office, I didn't realize how bad the financial picture was until I got elected and then had our first meeting with our county manager, and then the truth was pretty much unfolded that this is exactly where we are. And it just kind of flabbergasted me that, we could be in the situation that we are financially.
why is it sugar-coated for the public?
I believe that things are very much sugar-coated for the public. One of my goals, Don, and I've talked a lot about open government and really letting people be involved in this whole process and knowing where we are with things. And the fact of the matter is, we as commissioners, well, number one, we have to know where we are financially and then portray that message to the public so that when you need help, you're going to have folks coming to your aid. But if you're always telling folks everything is okay, we don't have any problems, when in reality you do need help and you do have problems, well, no one's going to come to your assistance.
You're the lone Democrat on the New Hanover County Commission. Mm-hmm. You're 1 out of 5. Mm-hmm. Would you like to see 2 more Democrats win those seats?
I would tell you, in my heart of hearts, I'm not concerned about party. I'm concerned about the right fit on our board. And I've shared that with many of my Democratic friends that are part of the recruiting committee for the Democratic Party. My concern is really about the right fit for our board to take our county to the next level. And as you can see, there have been a tremendous change in leadership with our Board of Commissioners and really trying to chart the vision for New Hanover County. And
you said that you've talked to all of but one candidate mm-hmm. that have announced that they're running, and some of them are opposed to tax increases. I imagine you wouldn't, in your heart of hearts, want those folks to be elected.
At this point, I would not, especially with them not fully understanding where the county is. Now, we're going to be putting on on the May ballot, a referendum for a 1/4-cent sales tax, which, if it passes by the public, it would bring in roughly
an increase of a quarter of
mm-hmm, on our sales tax, and that would bring in roughly $7 million a year for the county to the general fund. And to me, that is the best tax to have because it's a broad-based tax to where everyone's going to pay that tax. Whether you're a tourist coming in and out of the county, someone that's renting a home, and may not be owning a home, whatever you shop except for food, you're going to be paying a sales tax on those things.
Let's talk about the whole Titan issue. Mm-hmm. It's been a raging controversy from the beginning. As I remember, you didn't support the idea of Titan Cement coming
Correct.
to the county when you ran. But the commission's been pretty quiet about the whole issue since the last commission election 2 years ago. And that was part of your campaign?
Mm-hmm.
You opposed Titan? Do you think the mood on the commission on bringing Titan here has changed since they voted for the original incentives?
In my heart of hearts, I believe that knowing what people know now, the incentive may not have been offered. Had they known the tremendous impact this company would have on the community in terms of the media coverage and what's happening in the Castle Hayne area. You know, now you have school board members being bombarded saying that you all were in doing a deal with Titan well before, and you've built a school here too close to this plant. So I think if people had known what they know now, they may not have voted for that incentive.
Is there a way that the commission could rescind that deal?
As I mentioned before, during the campaign season, you can always do that, but I think it would cost the county a whole lot more legal fees to try to rescind an agreement because you have a contract. The county did enter into a contract to do that if they met certain performance measures.
And what do you think the chances that Titan will get their permits and actually build the plant?
I think it's getting close to slim and none at this point, in my opinion. I serve on the Cape Fear River Advisory Program, and we have a person from the DWQ, the Department of Water Quality, that sits on that board. And one statement that he made is that whenever you have an impaired body, that the Department of Water Quality is supposed to not issue a water permit to discharge more pollutants into that body of water. We already know that that body of water beside where that plant's going to be is already impaired. And no sooner than he said that, 2 days later, that became public knowledge. And Bob Odom with Titan said they wouldn't be putting any mercury into the water as a result of that. So,
but didn't come up with any concrete ways that they could do that. They didn't. They said there's technology, but it was very unspecific.
Correct.
All right. Well, we're going to have to leave it there. Jonathan Barfield, Vice Chair, New Everett County Commission. Great to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Glad to be here.
Next week, please join us. We'll have Jim Lutze, former Chancellor of UNC Wilmington, who's running for the state Senate, as our guest. And if you'd like to see any of our past shows online, you can go to WILM-TV.com and click on Byline Wilmington. I'm Don Ansell. You have a great week.
You've been watching Byline Wilmington on CBS 10 WILM. Join us every Sunday morning at 11 as we explore the issues that concern you.